Barnes here with the Pampered Chef, coming to you from my kitchen, and I just wanted to talk to you today about a few of the smaller tools that are just things that I use really regularly in my kitchen that I feel are must-haves for your kitchen to help you be successful and to cut down on the time that it takes to do things and just make cooking simpler and more fun. So the first one that we've got here is our smooth edge can opener. And how many of you have ever used the traditional can openers and then cut yourself when you're trying to pull that cutout piece out of the can? I know I have a scar to prove it. So I really enjoy this one. You actually just stick it on the edge of the can, and this, you can see that moves in there. That actually goes down and grips your can and then just cuts just around the outside edge and on the outside of it. And then it's basically cutting where the top piece is glued onto the can. And then you use this little button to run this little piece over here, and that grabs the edge of the can and you can pull it off. So you don't have to worry about cutting yourself. That top of the can edge is not sharp after you get it off, so you don't have to worry about that. And then the lid itself is not sharp, so you don't have to worry about when you throw it in your garbage bag that it's going to cut your bag open or anything. So it works really nice. The next thing we're going to talk about is our salad chopper. So don't let the name fool you. You can use it for far more than salads. And it's just got this little latch release here that holds it together. And it's got these two blades, and then the bottom part is scooped. So you can actually get down into a bowl and scoop the items up that you're wanting to cut to get them into small pieces. My favorite ways to use it are with romaine lettuce, because that's our favorite type of lettuce to use for salads. So we'll get the long, the full head, and it's long, and I just hold the stem end of it, and then I just chop all the way down, and then just kind of fluff them apart, and they're good to go for us. Now, if you like your salad to be smaller than that, then after you do that step, then you can just do this step and make them smaller. And then the other way I like to use it is with like boneless pork loin or boneless skinless chicken breasts. You cook them up, and then you can use them to just shred that meat inside, or we've done bacon too. If you're making your own homemade bacon bits, you can use this to just cut that meat up in really fine pieces. So I just used this the other day to do that with some chicken breasts, because we were doing some quesadillas and I wanted it small so it would mix in with my cheese and my salsa and go right into my tortilla for our quesadillas really easily. So it works really well. I use it a lot. Then we have our garlic press, and our garlic press is great for getting this down to a fine texture. So for those of you that don't know, this is a bulb of garlic, not a clove of garlic. So don't put two of these in if your recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic. It's the smaller one that comes off of it that is the clove of garlic. So garlic is really, really good for you, and it helps boost your immune system. And it can actually, if you eat enough of it, can actually kind of be secreted from your pores a little bit and help with bug repellent. I know I tend to not get eaten by mosquitoes quite as much as some other people that I know, and I don't know if it's because of all the garlic that we eat, because in our house, if it's not dessert, it gets garlic. But I don't know if it's from all the garlic that we eat or what it is. Maybe it's something else, but you just never know. I know that it can be used that way if you eat enough of it. And then, so what we do here is, and you can get garlic in multiple ways. So you can get fresh garlic in the bulbs like this, and you can get powdered garlic. You can get fresh garlic that's already been peeled, and then you have to keep it in the refrigerator, or you can get the fresh minced garlic that's in an oil that you also keep in the refrigerator. The best way to eat it for the nutritional value is actually from fresh. And the reason for that is because when you put garlic in the refrigerator, it starts to break down much quicker, and it loses some of its nutritional value. And when you dry it and it's the powdered version, you're losing some of that nutritional value too. It keeps a lot longer that way, but you're just not getting all of the nice oils and all that nutrition from it. So that's why I love my garlic press. I use it for, like I said, anything that's not dessert. But you just open this thing up here and you put the garlic clove unpeeled. You do not peel it. You put it all in there and then you close it. And if I had something to use it in, I'd do it, but I don't. So you close it and then you'll press it and all the meaty garlic will come out of these little holes here. And then you'll take your little tool that comes with it and you just take this side here and you just scrape off all that nice meaty garlic right into the dish that you're using or that you're cooking. And then you open it up and sometimes the peel will come off with this and sometimes it doesn't and it sticks down in there. So then you use this little tool and you press it into them holes to push that, if I can find them, so to push that peel up just a little bit and kind of release it from the bottom, and then you use this end of it to just pop that right out into your garbage. So if you don't like the smell of garlic on your hands or whatever, you really don't have to touch it much. I don't mind it, and I put it directly into my garbage because it actually helps with the odor in your garbage. If you have some odor in your garbage, it's going to smell like garlic, but I like the smell. But it's going to cut down on some of the other odors in your garbage. And then when you're not using this, it actually stores right here in the handle, just like that. So, okay, our next item on the list is called the Mixin Masher. Now, this is actually a customer favorite. I love it. My mom loves it. So many people love it. Every time I ask people, what's your favorite tool? I would say 9 times out of 10, it's the hamburger chopper, as everybody calls it, because nobody knows the name of it. But it's actually called the Mixin chopper, and it was made for hamburger. You actually, when you're doing your ground beef and you're wanting to get it fine for sloppy joes or barbecues, if you call it that, or spaghetti or whatever you're doing, and you want it to be fine for your chilies or anything. So you just use this instead of a spoon or a spatula. Use this and just a little bit of a twist like this, and it will actually break down your meat as it's cooking and cause it to be uniform and fine and not... and like if you get it to the size that you want and you don't want it to be really fine, you can just quit using this and start using a spoon to just stir it. But this makes it so easy. And then the other thing is you can use it for more than hamburger. So you can use it on your boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You can use it on your pork loin. Just like we talked about with the salad chopper, except the salad chopper is going to chop it up really fine. So if you want really fine pieces, go with this. If you want the long stringy like shredded pieces for like shredded pork or the shredded chicken sandwiches, your pulled pork and pulled chicken, you're going to want to use this. So you just cook your meat and then you do the same thing like you do with the hamburger. Just a little bit of a twisting motion as you're going up and down in it, and it will just pull the meat apart along the grain, and you'll have your long shreds like you want them. The other ways that you can use it is just to mash things up. So if you want to chunk something up, I've used it for I cook broccoli in the microwave, and then I use this to just chop it up into smaller pieces to put in my risotto or whatever I'm making so that it's easier for my daughter to eat. And then it can also, so you see it's got this nice spiral to it. I've seen pictures of people using it to decorate cookies. So you get your cookies and you actually just press this in right after, a little bit right after they've cooked while they're still soft, and then it leaves that line there, and you can use it to help decorate and get this cool little design on there. You can use it to chop up your frozen concentrate if you're making drinks from frozen concentrate. There's so many things that you can use it for. You just gotta be creative. And then we have so that's the Mixin chop that we just talked about. This is the Mixin masher. So I love this thing. When I first saw it in the catalog, I was like, that is so flimsy. I don't know how it's gonna mash potatoes. And I was at the time using like the old version where it's got the handle and then it comes up and it like Y's and then it's flat on top, you know, and it's just a big round flat thing with holes in it. And that's what I had from when my husband was a bachelor, and we were using that and it worked okay. And I just figured this thing was flimsy. Well, I got to see one in person one time, and I found out that it actually is quite sturdy. So it's got some flexibility, which you want, but I mean, I have to put pretty good pressure on there to get it to move like that. So I got one and I started using it, and let me tell you, the first time I used it, I threw the other one out because it was useless. It wasn't even good enough to go in the camping box. So I will get another one of these to go in the camping box. This thing's amazing for mashed potatoes, mashed sweet potatoes, whatever you want to mash, whether it's avocado. It would probably work for hard-boiled eggs. I haven't tried that. I really should, because usually I use my egg slicer, but this might work really well for doing like hard-boiled eggs for like an egg salad sandwich. So it's great, and you can, like when I do the mashed potatoes, this is like a one utensil thing. I mash the potatoes, I use it to mix in the butter and the sour cream and all of that, and then when we go to serve it for our meal, we use it to actually just dish the potatoes out with. So you're only dirtying one utensil again. Alright, then when it comes to time to clean all those potatoes out, you have your mix-in scraper. So these come in 3 different sizes. This is the mini mix-in scraper, and then this one is the small. I'm pretty sure it's medium, small, and mini. But anyways, we have 3 different sizes, and this one is the medium-sized one, the middle-sized one, and then there's a much larger one. I don't even have one of those. My mom does, but I never need one quite that big. So I use this one the most. I actually have like 4 of them or 5 or something like that because I'm using them all the time. The reason I love these, the reason I think this is the best size is because they're the perfect size to fit inside of like your tomato soup cans or your cream of mushroom soup cans. That size of can, it's the perfect size. The other ones are too big, they won't go in there. But I love these because, I don't know if you can see it because of the lighting. There you go. But it's got a cup to it. So it's not just like when you're scraping things out of your container, it's actually going to scoop it up so you can pull it out instead of just pushing it around like the flat ones do. I love this one because it scoops. So that is one tool that I never am without. Okay, then the other things we have here are our Easy Read measuring cups. I love, love, love these. Okay, guys, and you're going to hear me say that a lot. I just love all my kitchen tools, but some of them more than others. So what you get in the set is a 4 cup, a 2 cup, and a 1 cup. And the thing I love about these is you'll see that it's angled here, right? So that's the Easy Read part. So there's lettering in here that tells you, you know, what cup measurement it is and everything and all your measurements. You can't read it from this side. It's backwards. You can read it from this side. And so what it's meant to do is you set it on your countertop here and you pour your liquid in and you read the measurement from here. No more of this. Okay, guys? No more of that. You just read it from here. It makes it so simple. So when you're filling your cup from the sink because you need water, you just set it, hold it right in there, and you can fill it. You don't have to try to run the sink and do this thing. You don't have to be awkward like that anymore. I love these things. They're also dishwasher safe, so you can put them in the dishwasher. Actually, all these tools that I'm showing you today, except for this one, are dishwasher safe. And this one I'm not sure. I don't think that it is. It might be, but I never put it in the dishwasher. Okay, so this last one is the close and cut. This is another one of those items that I was like, do I really need this item in my kitchen? Is it just another one of the things that's going to take up space? Well, I borrowed it once from my director to use at one of my host parties. And after I used it, I didn't give it back until I bought my own. So, it's like I said, it's called the Close and Cut. And you open it up here, and it has 2 of these gray pads, and they're both spring-loaded. So they're both spring-loaded. You can put anything in here up to 1.5 inches. And then what you do is you just close it, and you open it just enough to put your knife in there. And you have to have a knife that's wide enough to go, you know, do a little sawing motion back and forth and not fall out. It has to be at least wider than the then the close and cut. And then you just saw back and forth until you hit this guard back here. Your knife will not go anywhere past that guard. And then everything's in half. So why do I love it so much? How do I use it? Okay, I have a toddler and she loves grapes, but we will not give her grapes unless they're cut in half. So we put a bunch of grapes in here, close that, boom, dump them in her bowl. She's got a whole bunch of grapes all in half in seconds. Other way I love to use it, there's several salads that I like to make in the summer or several other dishes too that I like to make that include cherry tomatoes, and you're supposed to cut them in half. So I fill this with cherry tomatoes, cut them in half, boom, they're done. Chicken breasts. I love to put chicken breasts in here. It's one of my favorite uses for this thing, actually. So I put a chicken breast inside of here, close it. It's probably about the largest thing you can put in here, but I put a chicken breast in here, close it. Thin chicken breasts. Instead of having to pound them out, which you can pound them out if you want, that's makes them tender too. But I really like, for some of the meals that I'm doing, I don't want them pounded out, but I want them thinner so they cook nice and even. And this just does a perfect job of making them nice and thin. And then, so like we also do homemade breakfast sandwiches around here, and so I get the English muffins, and I put the English muffins in here and cut them to go into my, so I don't have to try to hold it on its side or anything like that and cut it or cut myself. I put them right in here. You can do bagels, anything up to 1.5 inches that you want to cut in half and have an even cut on it. This thing is amazing. So I hope you guys have some of these tools in your kitchen already. I hope that you're loving your tools if you do have them. If you have them and you haven't used them enough, or you haven't used them at all, or you need some tips or success tips for them, or you need some recipes or anything, please let me know. I'm always here to help. I'm not just here just to sell you products. I'm here to help you maximize the products in your kitchen. So even if it's stuff that you already own and you just need help with it, please let me know. Okay, guys, have a great day. Bye.